and others who are vocal about even who also criticized SDF party in the past, वो सब अब सिक्किम बचाओ अभियान के सदस्य बनके हमारा पार्टी ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं. We have shown certain excellence in various sectors, which has benefited the youth of Sikkim, including Mr. Mahesh, who's also one of the student leaders who came out of Sikkim University, which was established by the SDF party. The allegations. लेकिन I want to point out that since the inception, जब से SKM सरकार आया है सिक्किम में 2019 से, उस समय से पॉलिटिकल वायलेंस एकदम ही बढ़ के गया है, चरम सीमा में पहुंच गया अभी. Mr. Keshav Sapkota, who was protesting against the AOSS versus Union of India case in Sikkim in April of this year, he was beaten up in front of the police. He was beaten up by the SKM Karyakartas. Their faces are on the media. But unfortunately, the SKM Sarkar gave a chairman post as a prize to one of the people who pulled out Keshav Sapkota's hair in front of the media. Discourse in politics, a new sort of healthy discourse in politics. Then they should also look back at the people leading their party. They are mostly people who have left the SDF party at the lowest. They have left the SDF party when the SDF party needed them the most. So looking at a political opportunity, they have floated their party, but I think all their promises, all the sort of narratives that they are building, whether the public will accept it or not, 2024 will tell. So in the last 25 years, we went from one of the poorest states in the world to one of the highest per capita states in the country. So in terms of strategy, आपने जो गठबंधन का जो इशू था मैंने वो आंसर किया, लेकिन जो रणनीति है, हम लोगों ने जब सत्ता से बाहर आए 2019 में, उसी समय से हम लोगों ने सिक्किम के जनता के लिए आवाज उठाते आ रहे हैं. हम लोगों का रणनीति अभी इलेक्शन कैंपेन के आगे ही नहीं, लेकिन जब हमको ऑपोजिशन पार्टी का एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दिया सिक्किम के पब्लिक ने, उसी दिन से हमने बारंबार सिक्किम का कोई भी इशू हो तो उसमें हम आगे आके उसका वो सब बातों को आगे उठा रहे हैं. तो हमारा एक ये सिक्किम बचाओ अभियान भी चल रहा है. हमने उसको हमारा जो भी ये स्ट्रैटेजी है उसको हमने ब्रांड किया है सिक्किम बचाओ अभियान, क्योंकि लास्ट 5 इयर्स में एसकेएम सरकार आके यहाँ पर सिक्किम का आइडेंटिटी का तहस नहस हुआ है. यूनिक आइडेंटिटी जो है हमारा 371F से प्रोटेक्टेड, वो तहस नहस हुआ है. एट द सेम टाइम लॉ एंड ऑर्डर इशू बहुत बढ़ के गया है, एंड एट द सेम टाइम करप्शन हैज आल्सो इंक्रीज अ लॉट. सो मेनी इश्यूज को इंकैप्सुलेट करके हमने ये सिक्किम बचाओ अभियान को आगे बढ़ाकर जा रहे हैं. हमारा स्ट्रैटेजी इसी सिक्किम बचाओ अभियान को आगे लेके हम करेंगे.
जी ठीक है कोमल जी, लेकिन जिस तरह से एसकेएम सत्ता में आए, 25 साल का आपका कार्यकाल रहा, उसके बाद एसकेएम सत्ता में आई, तो कहीं ना कहीं जनता ने आपको नकार दिया था 2019 के चुनाव की अगर मैं बात करूं, और 2014 में पहले एसकेएम धीरे धीरे से आगे बढ़ी, 10 सीटें मिले, उसके बाद पूरे सीटों पर दखल, तो कहीं ना कहीं एंटी इनकम्बेंसी उस वक्त भी रही होगी. अभी जिस तरह आप कह रहे हैं कि भ्रष्टाचार हुए हैं, राजनीतिक हिंसा हुई है, लेकिन उस वक्त भी कुछ ना कुछ तो जनता का मूड रहा होगा जो सत्ता परिवर्तन हुआ.
जी आई थिंक जो 2019 का जो रिजल्ट हुआ, दैट वाज बेस्ड ऑन द कॉल फॉर परिवर्तन. नेचुरली हमने 25 इयर्स गवर्नमेंट रन किया और उसका बहुत एंटी इनकम्बेंसी ओवर टाइम इट्स वेरी नेचुरल. आई थिंक फॉर एनी पार्टी टू लीड द स्टेट फॉर 25 लॉन्ग इयर्स देयर इज बाउंड टू बी सम एंटी इनकम्बेंसी. लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम आई वुड ऑल्सो लाइक टू पॉइंट आउट दैट आवर पार्टी वन द पॉपुलर वोट. हमको कम्प्लीटली रिजेक्ट भी नहीं किया है सिक्किम का जनता ने. So we had the popular vote at 47.63%, while SKM had 47.03%. So it was a matter of losing a couple of seats, and it was a matter of strategy. But I will not deny that, of course, there was some anti-incumbency which we had to fight, which we suffered from. लेकिन जो लीडर्स या जो कार्यकर्ता के कारण से हमारा पार्टी को वोट नहीं दिया, क्योंकि उस समय भी चीफ मिनिस्टर कैंडिडेट का चॉइस पवन चामलिंग ही था. So all the leaders who had kind of carried the burden of anti-incumbency, they have moved on to the ruling party and to other parties. So ये हुआ है. So that's why slowly the people who, including people from the SKM party and people who and others who are vocal about even who also criticized SDF party in the past, वो सब अब सिक्किम बचाओ अभियान के सदस्य बनके हमारा पार्टी ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। जी, ये अभी जो महेश जी ने कहा है, द क्रिटिसिज्म दैट ही इज पुट फॉरवर्ड, द सिटीजन एक्शन पार्टी, दे अगेन एंड अगेन लेवल दिस एलिगेशन, बट the astounding thing is that most of the founders of the Citizen Action Party are from the SDF party themselves. They are from the SDF party itself. So if they wanted to talk about all this reform or about the fact that no work happened in the last 25 years, they should have raised these issues while they were in the party, not when we lost the elections in 2019. So I see this as just a moment of, or an event of political opportunism. I think it's well and good if they want to come. Everybody has the right to form a political party in a democracy. They have that right. They have every right. But I think it is hypocritical to come and point fingers only at SDF party like they again and again do. I would like to ask them that if they truly think about reform, if they really want to look at building a new sort of discourse in politics, a new sort of healthy discourse in politics, then they should also look back at the people leading their party. They are mostly people who have left the SDF party at the lowest. They have left the SDF party when the SDF party needed them the most. So looking at a political opportunity, they have floated a party, but I think all their promises, all the sort of narratives that they are building, whether the public will accept it or not, 2024 will tell. I think that's all I have to say for the allegations that have been leveled. So the abhiyan that we have started last year, but not just, so since the beginning of 2019, after we lost the elections, we have again and again brought up issues that have pointed to the fragile existence of the Sikkimese identity. I think that is one aspect of the issues that we are carrying forward as the SDF party. But at the same time, looking at the SDF party, we have a track record of governance, of good governance. It is under the SDF party that Sikkim saw the biggest leap of development that Sikkim has ever seen. So in the last 25 years, we went from one of the poorest states in the world to one of the highest per capita states in the country. So this is the kind of development that we have seen. We have introduced Sikkim as a global brand with organic mission. And at the same time, we have also made leaps in the education sector, health sector, you name it, in the tourism sector. So we've already shown a track record of the kind of work that we've done. And it is because of that that the public, उन्होंने भी हमें 25 साल के लिए उन्होंने हमें सत्ता में रखा. But for whatever reason, 2019 we lost the elections, and since then we have had time to introspect and see where we went wrong and undo some of the mistakes that we have done. But in the coming days, one of our core issues is that we have in the past worked on developing infrastructure, developing sort of democratizing education, democratizing healthcare. लेकिन अब आने वाले समय में we will be working on improving the quality, on the qualitative aspect of the different services or the different sectors that we have already made a good foundation for in Sikkim. So it is not just about kind of looking at the Sikkimese issues, the Sikkimese identity issues, but at the same time the development issues are there. But our main issue is that if Sikkim itself doesn't exist, if Sikkim itself doesn't sort of protect its unique identity, then in the coming days, then the demography in Sikkim will change. The people who hold Sikkim subjects in Sikkim have a very special existence in the state. Our aim as a regional party, we have always protected Sikkimese identity and Sikkimese the unique existence, and our main core issue is that we will continue to do that, and we will fight for saving Sikkim's unique identity. That's why we have this abhiyan also that we have been carrying on called Sikkim Bachao Abhiyan. Because अगर सिक्किम को, क्योंकि अगर हमने सिक्किम को इस सत्ता से नहीं बचाया, तो आगे के दिन में रिफॉर्म करने के लिए या डेवलपमेंट करने के लिए जगह नहीं रहेगा. So these are the issues that we are grappling with, and we have taken every step, whether at the center government with the memorandums or at the Supreme Court. We are fighting we have filed certain cases at the Supreme Court as well. So these are the issues that we are taking forward in Sikkim Bachao Abhiyan, and the people of Sikkim have resonated with our call, and that is the reason why I think we are getting a lot of support not just from people who have been vocally against us in the past, but also from members of the SKM party itself, who really truly believed in a parivartan that would have created a positive change in Sikkim. But that did not happen, and that's why I think there is a resounding call, a resounding support for a strong party that can deliver change, that has shown its experience in the past, and with a trusted and experienced leader who can fight the corrupted and the Gunda Raj SKM that we are seeing currently.
ठीक है कोमल जी, हम काफ़ी समय से, पिछले कुछ समय से हम देख ही रहे कि सत्तारूढ़ जो एसकेएम पर आप लगातार हमलावर हैं, और आज पवन चामलिंग जी ने भी कहा गुंडा राज चल रहा है। उससे पहले रावण राज की उन्होंने बात कही। क्यों इस तरह के इतने ज़्यादा आरोप आप लगा रहे हैं, जबकि आप लोग खुद भी 25 साल रहे हैं, उस वक्त भी तो कई तरह की बातें हुई होंगी।
See, a lot of allegations usually happen for us. हमें भी लगाते allegations, लेकिन I want to point out that since the inception, जब से SKM सरकार आया है सिक्किम में 2019 से, उस समय से political violence एकदम ही बढ़ के गया है, चरम सीमा में पहुंच गया अभी। Political terrorism अभी establish हो गया है सिक्किम में। पहले I will not deny, पहले भी there are, not just in Sikkim, in other states as well, during election time there are clashes between different political parties. But there is a marked difference. I want to note that there is a marked difference in the violence of SKM party because since they came to power, we have seen that a complete political terrorism has been unleashed. We have had more than 1,000 cases of attacks against the SDF party members. Not a single FIR has been registered. Not a single assailant has been caught. तो यहाँ पर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर तो कंप्लीट फेलियर हुआ है। हमने भी बहुत सारे मेमोरेंडम दिया है, पीएमओ को दिया है, हमने एमएचए को भी दिया है, डीजीपी एटसेट्रा, बट देयर हैज बीन नो, अनफॉर्चुनेटली नो पॉजिटिव स्टेप्स फ्रॉम दैट एंड. But my allegations are not unfounded. They are based on the fact that there has been a lot of political violence in the presence of police, in the presence of media, not in closed doors. ये सब मीडिया में है, सबके आगे है. तो मैंने एलिगेशंस ही, इट्स नॉट जस्ट अ नैरेटिव बट इट इज अ रियलिटी दैट वी आर फेसिंग. एंड आई थिंक द मोस्ट सैड पार्ट इज दैट दिस पॉलिटिकल वायलेंस हैज नॉट बीन लिमिटेड टू द पॉलिटिकल स्पेस. स्लोली ये हमारा सोसाइटी में भी जा रहा है. वन इम्पॉर्टेंट इवेंट दैट हैपेंड वाज Mr. Keshav Sapkota, who was protesting against the AOSS versus Union of India case in Singtam in April of this year. He was beaten up in front of the police. He was beaten up by the SKM Karyakartas. Their faces are on the media. But unfortunately, the SKM Sarkar gave a chairman post as a prize to one of the people who pulled out Keshav Sapkota's hair in front of the media. So this kind of issue is there in front of the public, in front of the media. So इसको हम खंडन नहीं करें तो क्या करें?
ठीक है.
सिक्किम के लोग मर रहे हैं. एक पॉलिटिकल वायलेंस एकदम ही विस्थापित हो गया है.
ठीक है. ठीक है कोमल जी, एसकेएम के प्रवक्ता अगर यहाँ इस वक्त मौजूद होते तो हम उनसे ये सवाल ज़रूर करते, लेकिन दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि वो मौजूद नहीं हुए, उपस्थित नहीं हुए. कैसे रिएक्ट करेंगे?
आई थिंक जो महेश जी ने जो issues उठाए हैं, the kind of things that he has presented right now, I think these are issues that the Citizen Action Party or any other party or BJP they are bound to raise against the SDF party. I think right now the SDF party has established itself as one of the primary parties, the principal opposition party in Sikkim, that the public are putting their trust on, and of course they will raise these kind of issues. And I think it is very sad to hear that Mr. Mahesh has said that no matter what government comes, development to hona hai, something to hona hai, because the budget comes, audit happens, and so on. I don't think just because the government is there, something or the other happens. It doesn't happen by itself. It takes leadership, it takes a certain program, and I think in the past 25 years we have shown certain excellence in various sectors, which has benefited the youth of Sikkim, including Mr. Mahesh, who's also one of the student leaders who came out of Sikkim University, which was established by the SDF party. So let's just take the education sector. Earlier, when SDF came to power, there was one college. But during our 25-year tenure, the education sector was democratized, and higher education maybe more than 25 colleges were established by Sikkim में. So I think it is very, if you want to talk about objective politics that is based on facts, politics that is based on reform, I think you have to be able to accept when development has happened, or you have to be able to accept when your opponent's work has shown progress. I think just to blindly put it or push it aside is again very underhanded politics, which should not come from very young politicians who are just entering the
जी। कमल अधिकारी जी, आपसे मैं लास्ट कमेंट चाहूंगी, शो का समय हमारा समाप्त हो चुका है।